Hi friends, now we are going to do matching headings. This is very easy to do and I like this type of question especially if it comes immediately after the passage. Then it is great because you come to know where exactly the information is located to solve the questions. So friends, let us start with matching headings. You must be aware that here you will have paragraphs as options like paragraph A, paragraph B, C, D, E and F, and you have to give heading to the paragraph. So you have to understand what exactly the paragraph is all about. Then only you can identify and give the heading to the paragraph. Here are some tricks and tips for you to solve this type of questions. The first thing you have to do is read the paragraph. For example, if the first paragraph is paragraph A, you will read the paragraph A and then read all the headings. Just by looking at the headings, it is not possible for anyone to conclude immediately which heading matches the paragraph. So what is the next step, friends? Now you will read only first two lines and the last two lines of the paragraph. Again look at the headings. If you are not sure of the heading, don't read the last two lines, only read the first two lines. And when you go through the options, it is likely that you will be able to narrow down to the right answer. Now let's understand why this strategy works. Why we assume that your answer is in the first two lines and the last two lines? The reason is the passage is written by expert authors and any experienced author goes by the rules of the writing. When they write any paragraph, they start with the introductory lines and end with the concluding lines. So, from the introductory lines and concluding lines, we can very well make a judgment of what content the paragraph has. I can say 95% of the times you get your answer from the first two lines and the last two lines. But 5% of the times you will need to look deeper in the paragraph for your answer. So keeping this in mind, let us solve paragraph A. Here you can see that for paragraph B, the answer 10 is already given. So 10 will not be your answer. You can eliminate that from your option. Eliminate means you can consider that it is not there. Now let us look at paragraph A and go through it. In paragraph A, it is written that an accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of Federal Aviation Administration FAA to regulate and oversee the operation of aircraft in the skies over the United States, which were becoming quite congested. Friends, there are basically two lines only, so we need to read the whole paragraph. Remember friends, I have observed that whenever I tell students to read the first two lines and the last two lines, they read only that much. That is not enough. To start off, you have to read the whole paragraph first. Then look at the list of the headings. If you don't find the answer, which is likely to happen, this time only read first two lines and the last two lines. And again look for the headings. Even then, if you are not sure, then only read the first two lines again and look for the heading options. Mostly, you should be able to select the right answer. So here, the second line tells us the resulting structure of air traffic control has greatly increased the safety of flight in the United States, and similar air traffic control procedure are also in place over much of the rest of the world. So after reading the paragraph, let me walk you through the list of headings. Disobeying FAA regulations. They are not talking about it. They are not talking about disobeying. Aviation disaster prompt action. Now disaster could mean the accident that occurred. So I am keeping that second option in mind, or I can also mark it. Let us look at the third one. Two coincidental developments. No, they are not talking about any coincidental development in this paragraph. Setting altitude zones. No. An oversimplified view. No. Controlling pilots licenses. Okay, they are not talking about licenses. Defining airspace categories. No, even this is not in your answer. Setting rules to weather conditions. Even that is not your answer. Taking off safety. No. First steps towards ATC. No. Even that doesn't seem to be like the answer. So the first line tells an accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of the FAA. So when I look at the second option, friends, it is written aviation disaster prompts action. Because of the accident, they started FAA, so your answer is second. Now for paragraph B, friends, the 10th answer is already given, so we don't need to do that. Yes, you can read it if you wish to get an overview of it. Now let us look at paragraph C. In the 1940s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War, but the system remained rudimentary. It was only after the creation of the FAA that full-scale regulation of America's airspace took place, and this was fortuitous, for the advent of the jet engine suddenly resulted in a large number of very fast planes, reducing pilots' margin of error and practically demanding some set of rules to keep everyone well separated and operating safely in the air. As per our steps of solving the list of headings, we will look at the options, then read the first line. In the first line, it is mentioned in the 1940s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War, but the system remained rudimentary. So two things took place, and in the last lines, jet engines came into existence. After reading this, let us go through the options. The options are disobeying FAA regulations. No, nothing is disobeyed here. The second option we have already selected for paragraph A. The third option is two coincidental developments. Now this looks good. Why? In the first sentence, it is mentioned in the 1940s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War, but the system remained rudimentary. So these are the two developments, newly developed radar and radio communication. So there are two things happening here, friends. So this could be the answer. Let us keep this option in mind or mark it. Look at the other options. Setting altitude zones? No. An oversimplified view? No. Controlling pilot's license, whether it is written in the passage? No. Defining airspace categories? Even that is not your answer. Setting rules to weather conditions? No, they are not talking about any weather conditions here in paragraph C. Taking off safely? Even that is not your answer. the first step towards ATC? Yes, they are talking about ATC, but here in paragraph C, they are talking about coincidental developments. Two things are happening, but as I have already mentioned, option 10 is already an answer for paragraph B, so we should not consider it. So the answer is third because two things are happening. So friends, your answer is in the first line itself. Basically, when you do list of headings, read the paragraph, then read all the headings, then read the first two lines and the last two lines. Again, read all the headings. Even then, if you are not sure, then read only the first two lines, and then when you look at the options, it is likely that you will get your answer. The 10th option is already given to us as an example, so it needs not to be read or considered at all. Let's consider that we select one answer, and when we go to the next paragraph, we feel that the answer we selected should come here. You get doubtful. At that time, remember to go with your gut feeling. Usually, it happens that answer that comes to your mind first is the right answer. So don't change your answer once you have selected. I am sure this trick will also help you to do your matching headings right. Thank you.